Hey everybody, this is Allie. Welcome back to my channel, Color Mama 360. It's time for another video. So good morning, good night, good middle of the night, depending on when you're watching. Today I am doing a video all about my coloring red flags. Red flags meaning alarming things. We might need to stage an intervention if I have too many, those types of red flags. Now, as always, when I do videos that may talk about different things like this, I just like to preface things with this is my own opinion. This is about me. I'm talking about my own red flags today. I'm making fun of myself. If you do some of this stuff, it's not me making fun of you. This is just meant to be a fun, joking video all about what I consider to be my own personal coloring red tags. Now, how am I going to do this? I thought a lot about how best to make this video. Basically, what I did was I had a friend of mine come up with a bunch of different red tags, so to speak. Not red tags, red flags. So, like alarming things that I may or may not do as a colorist. And I don't know how she came up with these, if she came up with them on her own or if she asked AI. I have no idea. But basically, I cut them out. So I've glanced at them a little bit, but I haven't read through every single one. And so I put them all into this little bin thing, and I'm just going to take them out. And so I'm just going to be drawing these out, and we'll talk about them. Oops. And I'm going to try to keep a count of how many I have. So actually, let me, while I'm thinking about it, grab a piece of scrap paper so that I can keep little tally marks. And when I go back to edit this video, I will try to add a little count at the top of the screen of how many red flags we are at. So I don't know how easy it's going to be to color and do these at the same time. I'm not sure how much I'm going to want to talk about each one. But I have this page that I'm working on. This is from the Princess Kawaii Makeup Pact by Kevin Teo Art. And yeah, I just have the fish, the rocks, the skin, and the eyes really left to do. So I'm going to try to, while we do this video, do the shading on the fish, the rocks, and the eyes. And then I'll just have the skin left. And then obviously the little details. So that is what I'm going to try to work on. But like I said, I don't know how much I'm going to be showing you on screen besides coloring. I don't know if there will be things I want to show you along with the red flags that I'm drawing out of here. So we'll just see how it goes. And I, again, just want to say this is me making fun of myself. Feel free to, take what you will from this video, but this is just something that I thought was fun and fun to discuss. And I'm excited to see what she came up with. So let's go ahead and get started. And we will start by drawing the first one. Okay, saying I'm going to use up what I have first while tracking new releases. I mean, I don't think I say it that way. I'm like trying to justify it over the way that I say it. Tracking or saying I'm going to use what I have first while tracking new releases. I think I'd probably say something similar to like I'm going to color in the books that I have first before I buy anything else, but then at the same time I'm tracking new releases. So far, it is becoming apparent to me that some of these are going to be widely up to my own interpretation. Um, saying I'm going to use up what I have first while tracking new releases. I don't feel like I kind of don't track new releases that much though. A lot of times I learn about new releases from other people's videos, and so by the time that happens, they're already out. Or sometimes I'll see things on Instagram like I knew Tales of the Castle Runes was coming out because, Hannah Carlson posts about her own books and stuff like that. But I don't I feel like since I started my coloring journey, I've probably only gone in and looked at like upcoming releases on Amazon like once or twice. Guys, I think I'm going to say I'm not going to count this one. I don't feel like this is something that applies to me. So that is not going to be my first red flag, but Again, some of these are going to be up for interpretation. That one's pretty close. Creating a rotation system and immediately ignoring it. Oh, creating a rotation system and immediately ignoring it. I don't think I've ever really created a rotation system. I feel like I've just barely started getting into kind of like uh um what would be the word? A pattern of how I like to choose my pages. It took me up until basically this spring to recognize that I am probably a seasonal colorist. So I don't know if that would count as like a rotation system, the way that I've been choosing those um, seasonal pages. I feel like this one's a little bit of a stretch too, so not going to count it. All right. So far, I'm doing okay. I don't have as many coloring red flags so far as I thought. We will see if that continues. Okay. Refusing to color in a book because it's too pretty. Refusing to color in a book because it's too pretty. Oh, I mean, I do refuse to color in books because, like, I don't want to mess them up. I guess that would kind of be the same. Hmm. Ooh, there is one book I can kind of think of actually that feels like this might apply. Okay, let me go grab that book and then we can talk about it some more. Okay, so I've talked about this book a lot on the channel, and a lot of times it comes up as intimidating, but I do think that part of me does think it's like too pretty. Like, I like the art style the way it is, and I'm worried that it's not going to be pretty anymore if I try to color it. So I don't know. This one is a little bit of a stretch too, but especially with this book, this was the book that popped into my mind as I was reading that. I do think sometimes I do refuse to color in books because they're too pretty. So we will go ahead and count that as my very first red flag. So let's see what is next. Purchasing new books while actively avoiding whips. Yeah. Oh, this one is definitely definitely a red flag for me. So that makes two. I am now at two red flags so far. I recently actually did a video on all my current whips. So if you haven't checked that out, go check that out over on my channel. I have whips that I show from like 4 or 5 years ago. Like, they're so old, I'm not even actually sure. And then I have more recent ones. Sometimes I go through periods of just starting things and not finishing them. Sometimes I run out of time and then don't want to come back to them like the next month. Like, maybe it's a seasonal page or something like that. Now, I don't necessarily think there's a problem having whips. Like, it doesn't bother me, but I definitely buy new books while I have plenty of whips on that list that I need to finish. So I definitely think this red tag, or oh my gosh, I keep saying red tag, red flag applies to me. Um, but I also think there's nothing wrong with it. You know what? I'm gonna keep doing what I want to do. So it's fine. Okay, let me get another one. Oops, let's move that out of the way. Flipping through books for an hour instead of coloring. Yes, that would be my third red flag. Should probably separate the ones. Let's see. Separate the ones that are and are not. Okay. Oh, wait. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I definitely flip through books for an hour instead of coloring sometimes. And that is part of the hobby for me. I absolutely love it. I started making whole videos about that kind of like shop my stash type videos, like, to get ideas for pages in the summer. Um, so seasonally, and then sometimes on live streams, I do that for the following month's plans. So I don't know that I'll do that this month just because my plans are pretty solidified already. But when I don't already have plans, I will kind of do that on a live stream. I did that for May, and that was really fun. I enjoyed that. So I want to do that moving forward. Just for June, I didn't get to as many pages as I thought I would in May, so I have a lot being carried over and things like that. So it wouldn't be super relevant for June. But yeah, anyways, the point is the red flag is flipping through books for an hour instead of coloring. Yes, I definitely do that. And if I don't feel like coloring, then that's my go-to. I still like to do coloring related things. So maybe I don't feel like actively coloring, but want to do something that has to do with it. I'll just sit down and flip through my books for a little while. So yeah, I enjoy that a lot. I think it's part of the hobby for me. And I am not even um ashamed of it. Okay. Ooh, this one's kind of like the other one. This one actually feels more applicable, but it's fine. Being scared to ruin a page so you never start it. Yeah, I definitely have this red flag. So that is my fourth red flag. Um yeah, this is kind of the same thing that I was getting at with like the too pretty. Um but there's just pages that I really 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 love and I don't want to ruin them. So then therefore I just never start them. Usually they're like my favorite pages in the book and I'm just yeah, too scared to start them. Okay. Next one. Starting pages at 2 a.m. knowing full well you work tomorrow. I'm gonna have to say no on that one. I do not start pages at 2 a.m. I do, however, do a lot of my coloring in the morning. So I am a morning person. I have a video on my channel, just I can't remember what it's called, like my morning routine, coloring, and I am a full time employee and a full time mom. So what I usually do is get up early in the morning and before my kids get up and before I have to go to work, and that's when I do the majority of my coloring. But I don't get up at 2 a.m. So I feel like the way that reads is more like staying up until 2 a.m., even though it says knowing full well you have to work tomorrow. I'm thinking it's the way I'm reading it is it's like saying you have to work the same day, sort of a thing. I do not stay up that late, nor do I wake up that early usually. Now, when I was pregnant, I had really bad insomnia, so there were times when I was up at 2 a.m., but not anymore. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing for me. That is not one of my red flags either. Um, okay, let's see what the next one is. Okay, this one I feel like she looked at my videos, and this is personally for me. Mentally assigning personalities to your books. Yep, definitely a red flag for me. So that will be my fifth. I didn't just mentally do it though. I made a whole video about it. So again, if you have not seen my it turned into a tag video. I wasn't originally thinking anybody else would want to do it, but it did turn into a tag video. If you have not seen my um if my books had personalities video, that was a fun one too. That was like this one. Like I'm really enjoying filming this one. I also really enjoyed filming that one. It was just like silly and fun and very not serious, kind of like this one. So that is my fifth red flag for sure. Um, knowing exactly which artist ruined your no buy. Knowing exactly which artist ruined your no buy. I don't know how to interpret this one. I feel like this is another one that could be interpreted multiple ways. my mind is kind of going to like saying like you only buy one artist or you always buy one artist. That's kind of what my mind is going to. Like you tend to only buy one artist. Don't know if that's the way it's meant to be interpreted, but that is kind of where I'm going with it. And I would have to say, I don't think so. I mean, I feel like I have a good variety. I don't have every book from every artist, but I don't have only books from one artist. I don't know. That's kind of a hard one because, like I said, it's really up for interpretation. I think I'll probably have to say no on that one. I don't think that that one is a red flag for me. Well, a red flag as in applies to me. Guess it could be a red flag for somebody. Um, but yeah, I don't really feel like that one applies to me. Okay, so we are still at 5. Hopefully, I better have counted right. Buying a book strictly for one page. Yep, that makes 6 red flags for me. And I have something I can show you for this one. So, this is a red flag for me because I do this. And the book that immediately pops into my mind is Daydreams. And let's see if I can find the page. I think I've talked about this before. Yep. But I mainly bought this book for this page. I had seen this page colored. I've seen people do magnificent things with this page, and I kept asking, like, what book is that in? What book is that in? And when I found out it was Daydreams, I actually rebought Daydreams. So I had this book, I destashed it when I wasn't coloring anymore. When I came back to coloring, that's when I started seeing that page all the time. And so, yeah, I basically bought this entire book for that one page. But don't get me wrong, I do like this book. And that is not the page that I have colored in this book. I've actually colored the title page. Um, but if that page wasn't in this book, I like a lot of the other pages in here. What I don't like is this kind of stuff, like draw your own patterns. And I think one really cool thing about coloring book artists is they do listen to their audience. And Hannah Carlson specifically doesn't really do those types of pages anymore. So I think there's a lot of other pages that I'll color in here too now, but I don't know if I would have bought it if it didn't have that page with the frog. So yes, that is my 6th red flag, buying a book strictly for one page. Okay, we have only a couple left here. Having an entire shelf of untouched special occasion books. What is a special occasion book? That's my question. Um Another one that's kind of up for interpretation. Hmm. I'm really not sure what a special occasion book is, so I'm not sure that I can say this one applies to me because, yeah, I'm not sure what a special occasion book would be. Let me know down in the comments if you have what you would consider a special occasion book because I do not know what that means. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so we're at 6. Calling a haul small when it requires 2 trips from the mailbox. Well, usually they don't put my books in the mailbox. Um, oh, but is that does does that basically out me as it not being small? Like they're too big to put in the mailbox? We also just have really small mailboxes, but I don't usually call my hauls small though. It's usually the opposite. So I'm probably like guilty of the opposite. I'm probably guilty of calling hauls large when they're probably maybe large to me, but not to other people. I don't know. But I don't think I can say that this one, the way that it's worded, applies to me. I don't know. Unless I'm missing something, but I don't think that one applies. Having emergency pages reserved for emotional support coloring. No, but that's a good idea. I don't think that's a red flag, but I think that's a good idea. No, I don't have any specific pages like reserved for like if I'm having like a really bad day or something like that. Coloring in general is kind of just reserved for that. But there's no specific pages that come to mind. Like I said, not a bad idea. Okay, so we are sticking at 6. Watching coloring videos while ignoring your unfinished page. I do try to watch a lot of coloring videos. I like to, it's really important to me to try and like support the community and watch other people's videos. And so I try to watch as many coloring videos as I can. Um, but I don't know that it necessarily causes me to ignore my own pages because I do usually do it a lot while like I am coloring my own page or when I like if I can't color but I can watch videos because there's just certain circumstances where that's the case. Um, hmm. I I'll be honest though, I don't really choose to watch videos over coloring. So if I have time to color, basically what I'm saying is if I have time to color, I'm either coloring and not watching videos or I'm coloring while watching videos. So I don't think I can count that one. We're still sticking at 6. Only 6 red flags. Okay, this one has 2. I must not have cut in between, so I'll just go with the top one. Owning 3 copies just in case. I don't think that I do this, but I will say there are like there are times when I have thought about like, ooh, what Hannah Carlzon book might go out of print next? Should I buy a bunch of them just in case? So I've thought about it, but I don't do it. So do I have to count that? I don't know. So yeah, I don't know. The way that it's worded, I don't think so because it does say owning. I've only thought about it. I haven't acted on it. So I think I'm gonna have to say no to that one as well, which still keeps me at 6. So I wonder if I will have any more red flags because we're down to the last couple here. Oh, this one was 2 as well. Oh no, this one just ripped. Or I cut it. Using I'm not inspired as an excuse while simultaneously buying more supplies. Using I'm not inspired as an excuse while simultaneously buying more supplies. Oh, I'm not a supply gal. I'm just not a supply girly. Like at least I don't think I am. I do buy supplies, obviously. I mean, I bought a lot over the past year. I feel pretty happy with where my collection is now, but I would say that this is more applicable to me if you change the word supplies to books. So a lot of times I'll say like I'm not inspired and go buy more books, which again, I don't think is a bad thing because of course like if you go get a new book, you're probably going to buy that book because you feel inspired to color in it. So that makes sense to me. Um, but supplies, I don't think so. I'm not really, yeah, I'm just not a supply girly. Don't feel motivated that much by new supplies. I mean, sometimes I guess, but I definitely don't think I like supplies are what inspired me. It's usually the actual artwork. So I think I'm gonna have to say no again. But if that word supplies was books instead, I would be looking at yet another red flag. Okay, we are sticking at 6. I'm curious to know if you want to share. Again, this is making fun of me. I'm not making fun of anybody else. But if you want to share, I'm curious to know if any of the ones that haven't applied to me apply to you. So let me know down in the comments. Forgetting you already own the book and rebuying it. Oh, I have never done that. But I have um like okay, wait. Well, okay, hang on guys. Hang on. Oops. Just went over the yellow there. Um I did forget that I used to own Daydreams originally. And then I went to rebuy it for that frog page, and Amazon was like, "You bought this way back 6 years ago or whatever." But I didn't still own the other copy. So I don't know if this counts. But I'm gonna count it. I'm gonna count it. It does say forgetting you already own the book and rebuying it. Mine is more past tense. I forgot that I had owned the book and I rebought it. Um, but I'm gonna count it. So that is my 7th red flag. All right, we're down to the last one. Will we get to 8? Let's see. Oh yeah, we're definitely getting to 8. Buying PDFs you immediately forget exist. So that is my 8th red flag. I was very excited to be able to print PDFs when I got a new printer, and I did all this research on like paper and all of that, and I forget that I have PDFs all the time. For example, I did not go through my PDFs for my spring pages shop my stash video because I completely forgot about them. So I don't know. I need to find a way to like better remind myself about the fact that I have PDFs. Now, a lot of them I do have, I know for sure. Well, this is a PDF, obviously, so this isn't a good example. I usually remember to do my Princess Kawaii page every month because um it's a book I'm trying to finish. But if I'm just looking for pages like in general, I always forget to look through my PDFs. So I do have a couple Christmas themed ones or winter themed ones. So I think my mind just kind of like blocked it out when it's not those seasons. Trying to think of what else is in there. I did have a mermaid one. Completely forgot about the mermaid PDF for this month. Um, and then I do have some that are like non-seasonal. So I definitely need to look through them more and remind myself that there's more than just the Princess Kawaii pages in there. But yeah, those always get forgotten about for some reason. So that brings me to a total of 8. 8 red flags. Let's make sure that I counted right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. 8 red flags. Yeah, that was really fun. I think they're funny and just not serious. So I enjoyed making this video and kind of just hearing about what the perspective is on like what are considered red flags in the coloring community and how many of them apply to me. I thought that was really fun. And I think 8 isn't bad. I don't know how many there were total. But like I said, I am curious to know if some of those other ones that didn't apply to me apply to you guys. If you want to share down in the comments, you can, or you can also share what is your red flag that I didn't have in this selection. Maybe I'll do something like this again in the future with some new things, like maybe on a live or something like that, somewhere where we can have a conversation about it and make it fun. But we'll see. In the meantime, I am excited for some upcoming stuff, so make sure you stay tuned. We have the book battle starting soon, and plans for June are coming your way. So I'm excited to, yeah, keep on going. And you know what? I'm embracing these red flags, and I am not ashamed of them. I think that they're all great things having to do with coloring. So I am going to end there. I will see you guys next time. Happy coloring, everybody, and see you later. Bye.